Okay, today we're going to learn about fractions. The first question we want to ask is, what is a fraction? Fractions can be defined in two ways. The first way is they can be defined as part of a set. When it's part of a set, they're separate. So in this case we have 6 separate parts and 2 of them are shaded. So we would say that 2/6 of our fractions, or of our set rather, is shaded. It could also be part of a whole. I often like to think of a pizza as being my whole. This whole has 3 parts that are shaded out of 6. So in this case, 3/6 of our rectangle is shaded. Now, the next thing we want to look at are, what are the names of the parts of our fraction? In this case, we have 2 parts. Our fractions have a number on the top. I've used 3/6 as my example. The number on the top is called your numerator, and that represents the parts of the set or the whole that we are actually considering. The bottom number, the denominator, consists of the total parts that make up one complete set or one complete whole. Now, this is the part that always confuses some of the kids. Fractions can be less than 1. So any fraction that is 5/6 or less, all the way down to 0/6, would be a fraction that's less than 1. A fraction that is equal to 1 is when the numerator and denominator are the same. So in my example, we would have 6 out of 6. However, any time you see a numerator and a denominator that are the same, you have a fraction that is equivalent to 1. Fractions can also be greater than 1. We grew up calling these improper fractions, and they will hear that term as well. However, we'll also talk about them being greater than 1. Any fraction where your numerator is larger than your denominator means that a fraction is greater than 1. Let's take a look at what that actually looks like. In this case, a fraction that is less than 1 could be 3/4, 2/4, or 1/4. That means 3 out of 4 of our parts are being considered. If it were part of a whole, 3/4 would look like this. We have 1 part or more that are not being considered. When a fraction is equal to 1, again, that means that all of our parts are being considered. We have all 4 out of these 4 parts of this set, or the part of this whole, we're using all 4 parts. Now, if a fraction is greater than 1, greater than 1 means that we have to consider more parts than 1 whole. So here, that would be 4/4, which means I have another part. I have 5/4, but if I identified 1 whole, I would only look at 4 of them. When it's part of a whole, here I have 4/4, so it means that I have to consider 1 part of another one. I have more than 1 whole, and I'm representing that with a fraction.